The government on Monday asked the National Assembly or NA to lower economic growth targets over the next 4 years after encountering difficulties that resulted in failure to meet the target set for last fiscal year. Prime Minister Thongloun Sisoulith presented the proposal at the second ordinary session of Parliament's 8th Legislature.
เศรษฐกิจมหาภาคทางด้าน GDP 2017
Under the proposed plan, economic growth targets have been revised to 7% for 2017 and 2018, with a slight increase to 7.3% in 2019, rising further to 7.5% in 2020. On average, the annual growth target over the next 4 years will be 7.2%, which is less than the annual average target of at least 7.5% set in a 5-year National Socio-economic Development Plan for 2016-2020. Prime Minister Thongloun Sisoulith told NA members that thorough and objective analysis and discussions at the plenary meetings of the Central Party Committee and Politburo, the government has recognized the need to ask the NA to revise the macro targets. During last fiscal year 2015-2016, which ended in September, economic growth was just 6.9%. The new fiscal year 2017 will begin on January 1st.
สภาพเศรษฐกิจของสากลและภาคพื้นยังสืบต่อขยายตัวในระดับที่ช้าลง
Minister of Planning and Investment Dr. Suphan Keomitsai told Parliament that impacts from the regional and global economy contributed to Laos's failure to meet last fiscal year's growth target. Budget constraints faced by the government were a further setback. Presenting the proposed revised plan to the NA session, Dr. Suphan said annual gross domestic product or GDP growth has been revised to 7.2% on average over the next 4 years. GDP per capita is targeted to reach $2,978, more than 24.2 million kip by 2020, up from the $2,027 recorded in 2016. Over the next 4 years, revenue is expected to reach 18 or 19% of GDP, while expenditure is targeted at 21 to 25% with a budget deficit of 4 or 5%. Prime Minister Thongloun emphasized that the government will prevent unapproved projects from being created to avoid unapproved debt so that state investment is legally regulated and transparent. The government pledged to stabilize currency in line with market-orientated mechanism while defining appropriate interest rates to be offered by commercial banks. Prime Minister Thongloun said the government would continue to streamline procedures and regulations conducive for easing investment and business operations while cutting unnecessary costs. The government has also vowed to place greater importance on small and medium enterprises.